Hello, everybody. How we doing? Soul and Lady Foes with first and second. Congratulations, ladies. How are you guys doing today? How was everybody's weekend? I want to know how your guys' weekend was and how is your week starting out? How can I pray for you? How can I come alongside you? And just what has God been doing in your life? Because I want to know. I want to know. Will you tell me? You've got a lot of chores. So many chores. All the chores. The chores seem never ending. I don't know why. They just seem so never ending. No matter what you do. No matter what you do. Yes! Thank you, Lord! Thank you, Lord! Oh, Baby Foes is no longer breach. Thank you, Lord! Oh, man, we have been praying and praying and praying for a strong and healthy baby. And I am so glad to hear that he is no longer breach. Oh, that is amazing. That is absolutely a God thing right there. So I know that I had said on Saturday that today we were going to have my friend Bree on, but something came up and she wasn't able to make it tonight, and that is A-okay because IRL comes first. And so we're going to go ahead and do a change in plans, and we're going to make some arms for our little dino friend. He's got his little tail. This will be interesting when it comes to putting the spikes in. I might only be able to fit 2 on. But the tail is holding on pretty well. I am actually rather amazed. You just finished your homework for AutoCAD, the one assignment for that class you've had so far. A bit of a brain puzzle, so to speak, feeling rather accomplished about that. As well you should, Soul. As well you should. I am so proud of you. Highlight of your week was D&D, hands down. Pretty sure you know why. Oh, heck yeah, I do. You guys, that D&D session was amazing. That was a definite highlight of my weekend, too. Because, getting together with our party member friends, and we're friends outside of being party members, so yeah, they're just great people. And secondly, hilarious story, and I was a rogue doing rogue things, and it was amazing. And the story was awesome. We fell in love with this one NPC, and had to come to his defense, and it was amazing. How's it going, Dusty? Hope you're doing well. I hope you are doing well, my friend. What was a highlight of your weekend? I think another highlight for me was also I did really well in bowling. So, as you guys know, Saturday is no stream for the next 2 Saturdays. So, I'm going on a couple of little holiday trips, and they're going to be awesome. And I'm looking forward to that. But that also meant that I was not able, or I will not be able to bowl this coming Sunday. And so my mom and I were on a team together, and so we got the opportunity to do what's called a pre-bowl, where you bowl like normal, and those scores apply to whatever game you need to pre-bowl for. And so we weren't sure when we were going to have time this week to do that, just with all the craziness of the week. Excuse me. And so we were given the option to pre-bowl after our normal league games, which would mean 6 games, you guys. 6 games. And so we bowled like normal, and we did really, really well. We really did. I bowled a 147, a 97, and a 114 in game. And then I bowled a 111, 106, and 102 for the for the pre-bowl. And so that was awesome because it meant that I bested my average most of those games. And I was like, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. The highlight was today you delivered 190 Christmas presents to the school board. That is amazing, Dusty. Is that something you guys get to do every year? That is so cool. So cool that you guys get to do that. Just adjusting a couple things on the old desk real quick. There we go. But yeah, this was a really good weekend, and our message at church was really good too. It was about how Jesus is our hope. And, my throat all of a sudden went dry. Excuse me just a second. Oh, that's right. You did tell me the blessing bag, to be a blessing bag. I love that. So the message at church this week was about how Jesus is our hope, and at Christmas, we are reminded of that hope. And it's really, really awesome. Really, really was a fantastic message. And it's true. We have that hope. We, as believers, have hope. And this Christmas, I hope and pray that you remember that you find that amidst any difficulties that you're experiencing, any grief that you're experiencing, any other difficulties that you're experiencing, that you remember that there is hope, and that hope is Jesus. And so I also got to teach on the birth of Jesus in preschool Sunday school, which was awesome. And it was one of those lessons where you just knew those kids were listening. And like, they even remembered all the little details of, like, I explained to them why they had to go to Bethlehem. You know, who was Jesus's mom? How did, who did they talk to? Who was his earthly dad? Who did Joseph talk to? And all that wonderful stuff. And so it was so great feeling that like they were really connecting and like they were really listening. Oh, a certain Scentsy order. Nice. You guys, Scentsy has Harry Potter stuff. So of course I had to get myself a Hufflepuff. A Hufflepuff scent. And it smells amazing. Right now I've got a different scent going, but I've got the flower, and unfortunately, Lady Foes, I couldn't find any markers. I tried the colored pencil, and it wasn't wanting to come through, and so that's why no pictures of the flower yet. But, you guys, this is my fragrance flower, and it is a vanilla buttercream, and it smells freaking amazing. It smells absolutely amazing, and I love it. I love it. Oh, I even tried it before the oil, and it wasn't wanting to work. I wonder if maybe I was going a little too light? Because I tried before I even put it in, and It just wasn't wanting to... Oh, you need a Sharpie. That makes sense. Well, I guess this means I just have to order another fragrance flower at some point. Hello, Dreamer. How's it going? Hope your week is starting off well. We're going to be making some arms for our dinosaur friend. And so I am excited. Lady Foes, did you get to see my stitch counters collection and all the different crochet hooks? Oh my gosh, I am? I'm your biggest customer at the moment? That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I do? That's cool. So this has an extra darning needle. It has some knitting needles. It has all my crochet hooks, my stitch counters. I'm not sure what these little green kind of horn-shaped things, I guess you could say. I don't know. They look like something you would... I don't know. I don't know what they are. But I've got all my crochet hooks. I've got all the things. I've got at least one hook of every size. They are amazing. I love the ergonomic ones. I feel like the ones that are ergonomic just feel better in my hands. Oh, needle covers for knitting. That makes sense. Well, hello there, Captain America and tie-dye chef Dave. How's it going? You're doing okay, Dreamer? Trying your best to stick through your disconnection plan. I love it. So what is your disconnection plan? Tell me more. There we go. We had to get that song in there somewhere. How's it going, Dave? What are you up to tonight? So you guys, since this is our normally shorter stream night, I'm going to go ahead and launch right into prayer time. So if you have any prayer requests, please feel free to drop them below, and I will definitely be more than happy to pray over those. Stay off of YouTube, Facebook, and other social media, listen to podcasts, and read books. I love that! Taking like a social media break. I love it. That almost reminds me, one of the things that I've started this week with the help of Lady Foes and Adifos is an app called Finch. And you essentially have like a little Tamagotchi bird, and it's absolutely adorable. Let me go to my, there we go, homepage. But it's a self-care app. And it's so cute. And one of the things is limit social media before bed. And that is something I am working on because I tend to kind of scroll until I can't anymore. But it's absolutely adorable. Oh, you're not going to be on there at all anymore? Not anymore, Dreamer? You're eventually going to play some Animal Crossing New Horizons and some fork, knife, spatula, whisk, microwave pantry, foot night, all the names. Nice! Oh, Enchanted Siren uses that? I need to add her. Dude, I need to reach out to Enchanted and add her on that. That is so cool. I've only been using it for a few days, but I love it. Because I can send little hugs or little messages of encouragement to Lady Foes and Adifos, and it reminds me to do things that I know I need to be doing. And it always feels good marking that off. It's like a little dopamine hit. I love it. You're still using the Messenger app and might upload a short video to YouTube, but for the most part, you're trying to break your unhealthy mental habits. That is amazing, Dreamer. New year, new you. By the time you reach the new year, this will be a new habit for you, and it'll be a new you, and I love it. Oh, you got it, Soul. Prayers for your finals would be appreciated, especially for the upcoming certification exam. Even though you've been doing well in the class, the practice exam has been a challenge. That adds up. That, in a way, that definitely adds up, especially with it being a certification exam. Because I almost equate it to how it was in my academy, which was I did great academically, but there's only so much they could prepare me for as far as on-the-job training in class. And so it makes sense to me that the certification exam might be, they definitely seem to up the ante a bit. And so I can see where that would be a lot more of a challenge. So I'm definitely praying over that. When's your final again? So we've got Soul with her finals and certification exam, and then Dreamer with the disconnecting from social media. Results for the part build should be within 1%, but you've been getting it within 2%, and the perfectionist in you is not happy. Okay, certification exam is a week from today. Sounds good, and I will be definitely praying a week from today. Yes, 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 yes. We're praying tonight. We're praying a week from today. It's going to be awesome. You're going to rock it. And I can understand that 1 extra percent, because I'm like, if the exam itself, if in order to pass that exam, you need to be within 1%, I could see where having that 2% be like, oh no. Like, it's not necessarily feeling like a failure, I don't know, or at least for me, it wouldn't be so much the feeling like a failure as much as exactly like the concerning of, uh-oh, if I'm within 2%, first off, where did I go wrong? And then those overthinking things happen. Because it's not even necessarily that it's a fail as much as it's, at least since it's not the actual exam, it's not so much the I failed as much as the, oh boy, where did I go wrong? How do I get back that extra percent? How do I take that back and get down to 1% difference? And looking and analyzing everything to figure all that out. Oh, you're gonna check things off your Finch. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Hashtag chores. Oh man, I need to next week add some stuff to my Finch as far as chores, because that way I remember to do it all. I need to start going through, like, it's that little area right there, and this little area right here, that just need a little extra love, because, well, this actually might not look as bad. We've got my D&D bag right here, so I'm just gonna go ahead. It already looks a lot better just moving that, so we'll put my D&D bag right there on the back of my chair, and that'll work. Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and pray real quick, and then I'll look up partway through the prayer to make sure I don't miss anything, and then we'll dive right into some crochet. I mean, you're not wrong, Dreamer. You're not wrong. It's one of those, like, I could write it down, but having that sometimes that audible reminder, or having it pop up as a notification works better. You know what I mean? Like, it's like having that checklist works in certain situations. Like having the handwritten checklist works in certain situations. Sometimes you need the, okay, I'm setting my reminder app. This day, this time, I gotta do this. And you've triple checked. Have you talked to your professor? And I'll see your answer to that right after prayer. Dear Lord, thank you so much for today. I thank you for each and every person here and everybody who's going to be here, and for those who aren't, Lord. I ask that you be with each and every person in this community, Lord. I ask that you be with Soul as she is studying for her certification exam and her finals. I know how stressful that can be, Lord, so I ask that you be with her, help her to remain calm, and be able to figure out where that extra percent is coming from, as far as it needs to be within 1%, but she's getting 2%, Lord. So I ask that you help her to figure that out. I ask that you just help her be able to pass these exams with flying colors and be able to truly show that she remembers and knows and understands what's been taught, Lord. Be with her driving and just help her be able to gain more confidence, and for that anxiety surrounding driving to get to a more manageable level, because I know that that's something that won't ever fully go away, and I completely understand that, Lord, but I ask that you just help her be able to get to where it's more manageable. I ask that you be with her dad and give him a miracle of healing, Lord. I ask that you touch and heal his shoulder, Lord, and give him more range of motion. I ask that you be in their relationship, Lord, as father and daughter, learning how to communicate better, learning how to respect boundaries, Lord. I ask that you be with Dreamer and his trying to limit his amount of social media, Lord. I ask that you bless that. I ask that you help him to develop this habit and to be able to learn more about himself through this and to get closer to you through it. I pray for Lady Foes and Adiphoes, Lord, that thank you that their move is complete. I ask that you help them as they finish any unpacking that they need to do, any prep work that needs to get done for Baby Foes. I ask that you be in that, Lord. Thank you so much that Baby Foes is no longer breach, Lord. I pray that he continues to be strong and healthy, Lord, and that when the time comes for him to be born, that you be with Lady Foes and Baby Foes and just help that all to go smoothly, Lord. Be with Chef Dave and his work, and I know there's a lot going on with being understaffed, and so I ask that you be in that, Lord. I ask that you be with Queen's Unspoken. I ask that you be with STL and his headaches, and just rid him of those headaches and be with his mental health, Lord. Be with Phelan, be with Kishu, be with Spark, be with Bearded Beowulf and Legend of Zyro and DLC, Lord. I ask that you just guide and direct each and every one of us, keep us close to you, and let us have a fun night tonight. Be with his little kitty and just everything going on in her life. Be with Lotu, and as she's packing and getting ready to move, Lord, let that be a smooth transition, and let her partner application be looked on favorably, Lord, if it be your will. I ask that you just let us have a fun time tonight. I ask that we are able to make some good progress and have some good conversation as well, Lord. And in your name I pray. Amen. All right, you guys, we are going to dive in. We finished the tale, you guys. And this tale, you guys, is so cute. And I cannot wait to see how this all turns out in the end. It's gonna be amazing, and you're so welcome, Soul. So we're gonna learn how to do the arms, which means we're gonna start, it looks like, with the slip stitch join, and then finishing the arm, and then doing the second arm. So let's see how we do, how much progress we can make, and then we'll go from there.
Now let's make Fred's arms. I'm going to demo orange yarn being attached to a blue piece, but you'll want to follow along with green yarn. So we got to learn a new technique. This is called the slip stitch join. It's how you add a new piece of yarn to an existing closed piece. So here I've got my yarn. I've laid it out on my table in a horizontal line. This is what I'm going to attach to the existing piece. Then I'm going to pick up the cutoff end and loop it once around itself so it intersects.
Yes, all the lurkers, you guys are the backbone of Twitch.
That I just made and fold it over the rest of the yarn like the page of a book. So now the rest of the yarn is going more or less through the middle of this loop. Then I'm going to pick up that yarn in the middle of the loop and then tug on the cutoff side of the yarn until a knot is formed. This is called a slip knot.
Wow, that looks like a long, long tail. Look how long this tail is. I'm gonna try that again, because I do my slip stitch, or my slip knots differently. So what I do for my slip stitch, or slip knot, which is something that Ladyfoes taught me how to do actually, is, I'm gonna go to just chatting for this. You take your middle and index finger, drape over, and then you keep going until you see an X. So see how I have an X right here? So then this loop here, I'm going to go like that, go under, and then over the other loop, and it's going to make a nice little knot. And then I just keep on pulling until I get my knot. And there we have our little slip knot. Oh, no worries, Ladyfoes. Yeah, I like the shorter tail too, because I worry that I'm going to get the tail caught up in the rest of the project.
So now you want to put this slip knot on your hook. So put the loop on the hook, and if you're left-handed, you want to have the knot on the right side of the hook. Then you're going to adjust the size of this loop by just pulling on the yarn connected to the yarn ball until the loop is the size of the tip of the hook.
There we go. Oh, no worries. No worries.
Now insert the hook roughly under the eye between rounds 12 and 13. So remember to count the rounds. You start from the top. This ring is round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we're going to insert the hook from the back to the front of the body around a stitch.
Okay. So, I'm going to replay that. I didn't realize I wasn't playing the video.
Now insert the
on
hook
stream
roughly under the eye between rounds 12 and 13. So remember to count the rounds. You start from the top. This ring is round 1, 2, 3, 4,
exactly,
5,
Soul.
6,
Same here.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we're going to insert the hook from the back to the front of the body around a stitch.
Okay. on, Bayo? What you up to tonight?
Now yarn over and pull that yarn through everything. So the stitch that the hook just went under, as well as the loop that's on the hook.
Oh,
And
wow.
that is a slip stitch join.
Okay. Now that's pretty cool. I've never done that before. I'm learning something new today. I'm doing well. We're learning something new today. So we're pulling through all of these, yeah? Yeah, pull through all loops. Hey, how's it going, Shorty? How was work today, everybody? So we do that. There we go. And there we have our slip stitch join. Okay. Next step.
Now make 3 chain stitches. This is abbreviated CH3. To do a chain stitch, simply hold the yarn like you normally would, yarn over, and bring the yarn through the loop on the hook. That was a chain stitch. That V you just made, that is what a chain stitch looks like. So do this 2 more times. So yarn over, pull the yarn through the loop on the hook, yarn over, and pull the hook through the loop on the hook.
2 and 3. It helps if you're holding right where you are supposed to. I always forget that part for some reason. So we have chained 3.
Then put a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So first figure out where that second chain is.
So
You've got the loop on the hook, it traces back into a V. That is the first chain from the hook. So the one that goes back into, that's the second chain from the hook. And when you crochet into a chain stitch, you actually want to put your hook under only the side of the V that's further away from you, which is technically called the back loop. And you want to make sure that you put your hook under only that loop. So now it looks like you have 2 loops on the hook. Then you're going to make a single crochet stitch like normal. So yarn over.
So that we
pull
did.
The yarn through just that first loop because that's where you just put your hook under. So now you've got 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again and pull through both loops on the hook. That was a single crochet stitch in the second chain from the hook.
Perfect.
Single crochet into the next chain as well. So into that next V. Remember, put the hook under only the back loop, the far side of the V. So it looks like you got 2 loops on the hook. Do a single crochet like normal. So yarn over, pull through the stitch. So you have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, pull through both loops on the hook.
Perfect.
Then put a slip stitch in the same spot where you did that slip stitch join. So where all this mess of yarn is coming from. So this time you want to actually put your hook in from the front to the back of the body in exactly the same spot. And to do a slip stitch, simply yarn over and bring that yarn through everything. So the spot you just put the hook into, as well as the loop on your hook.
Okay. We pull through. Oh, dropped it. There we go. We pull through everything. Perfect.
Then fasten off. So yarn over and pull that yarn through the loop that's on the hook. Pause, put your piece down, grab some scissors, and what we're going to be doing is finishing this all now. So we want to cut this yarn tail to be about the same size as the other yarn tail to make it easy to work with.
All right,
Then
so
keep
we're
on
gonna
pulling your hook away from the piece until that loop that was on the hook goes all the way through and
This is
becomes
such
a
a
knot. Pull
tiny
tight.
little arm. Such a tiny little arm.
Then fasten off. So yarn over and pull that yarn through the loop that's on the hook. Pause, put your piece down, grab some scissors, and what we're going to be doing is finishing this all now. So we want to cut this yarn tail to be about the same size as the other yarn tail to make it easy to work with. Then keep on pulling your hook away from the piece until that loop that was on the hook goes all the way through and becomes a knot. Pull tight.
Okay. Toonami? Or toon arms? Toon arms? Toon arms! Okay. There we go. So we've done that. Oh, tie them together. Oh, and I made one side a little shorter than the other, but that is okay. Maybe a couple inches shorter. I was eyeballing.
Then we need to hide the yarn tails inside the piece. So tie a knot with the two yarn tails, thread a needle with both of them to save yourself some time. And then stick the needle in exactly the same hole that the yarn tails are coming out of and pull it out some other side of the piece so that it gets stuck in the stuffing.
Okay.
And then just trim those yarn tails as close as possible.
Oh, I did
the
have a
surface of the
second one of
piece.
those. Now I've
And
got
then
3.
massage the piece so that those yarn tails get sucked up into the stitches.
I have a big head and little arms. It's too similar to unbreaded. I don't want to do an unbreaded. It's all good. It's all good. All right, so we've tied
Then we need to
them.
hide the yarn tails inside the piece. So tie a knot with the two yarn tails, thread a needle with both of them to save yourself some time, and then stick the needle in exactly the same hole that the yarn tails are coming out of and pull it out some other side of the piece so that it gets stuck in the stuffing.
Okay.
And then just trim those yarn tails as close as possible to the surface of the piece, and then massage the piece so that those yarn tails get sucked up into the stitches.
That is true. Most dinos, I would assume, would have tiny little arms. Okay, this is always my hardest part, is threading the needle. Oh. Threading the needle. I don't know why it is always so difficult, but it is. Alright. We're gonna do this 1/2 of the yarn at a time. So I apologize in advance. This is going to take me a minute to try and thread. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. There's 1/2. Okay. Now to try and get the other half in without losing the first half. how many of you guys have gotten to see the Wicked movie? And if so, what were your thoughts on it? Because I absolutely loved it. Absolutely. And I need part 2 right now. There we go. All right. So now we got both parts in. Okay. Oh, I promise no spoilers.
Then we need to hide the yarn tails inside the piece. So tie a knot with the 2 yarn tails, thread a needle with both of them to save yourself some time. And then stick the needle in exactly the same hole that the yarn tails are coming out of and pull it out some other side of the piece so that it gets stuck in the stuffing. And then just trim those yarn tails as close as possible to the surface of the piece, and then massage the piece so that those yarn tails get sucked up into the stitches.
Okay. So now come on. Are you guys not gonna wanna come out that one? Huh? Okay. So then let's just try one hole up rather than oh boy. I think I may have. No, I didn't. We're good. We're fine. We're gonna make this work. It's just stuck. And it doesn't like me. It does not like me. And I don't know why. Oh, it's getting stuck in the stuffing. What? Can I maybe back this out this way instead? Sorry guys, I gotta problem solve a second. Because it got so into the stuffing that now my needle is stuck. I went up one stitch too high. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. We did it. We got it, you guys. Alright, so now
Into the stitches so that those yarn tails get sucked up into the stitches.
Oh.
Then just trim those yarn tails as close as possible to the surface of the piece, and then massage the piece so that those yarn tails get sucked up into the stitches.
Okay, so what that means is we're taking our darning needle off. We're going as close to the surface of the piece as we can. And then, little tiny massage. Look at him! He's got this cute little arm! One, nothing wrong with me. Two, nothing wrong with me. Three, nothing wrong with me. Four, nothing wrong with me. There we go. Now he's standing while I get the next thing ready.
Repeat all of that on the other side, and when you're done, Fred should look something like this.
Okay, so we are going to make our little slip knot again. We're gonna go like this. Get ourselves a nice little slip knot. Perfect. Yes, that seems about right. And then we do that. Oh wait, nope, I think I want to go down one. Yeah, I do. Let's see here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, so now we go under all that. There we go. And first thing I need to do is, there we go. Pull this through. Oh. Get it. Come on. We can do this. Alrighty, love you too. I hope everything's okay. There we go. Slip stitch join. Perfect. Alright. And then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Single crochet into the second from the hook. Oh, this is not. Let's see. For some reason, this is not 100% looking like I want it to, or like I think it should. Ah, there we go. That may be part of the problem. Perfect. Single crochet there. And then we slip stitch. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. Okay. And we pull through all of them. And then we measure. Okay. Alright, and then I need to cut off just a smidge more. There we go. Get my needle out. Oh, that's where it went. Okay, I was looking, I'm like, where did my other part of the yarn that I cut off go? It fell. So what does everybody have planned for this week? I am curious. What is something you guys are looking forward to this week? I know that Soul is looking forward to having that exam over and done. And we all know Soul's gonna pass that thing with flying colors. I am also looking forward to late January when my D&D group has another get-together. Oh, there we go. Hold on 1 second, Dreamer. I'll be right with your message. There we go. Okay, so now I've got those. We're gonna go into the one it's coming out of, which is that one. We're gonna go up just one, I think. And pull, pull, pull. Get that nice and tight. And then we'll just massage that there. And he has 2 cute little arms. Phew. I'll be honest, guys, I was a little worried about how that was going to turn out. Oh, great. I must have done something wrong. Because all of a sudden, his little arms have come back out. They were not into the stuffing as I suspected. As I thought they would be. I don't know if I have enough to work with. But the good news is it does have a slip stitch join. But what I can try... Oh, all good, Dreamer. Welcome back from ads, everybody. I think what ended up happening is I'm going to have to redo that last little step because I must not have secured it like I must not have secured that second arm like I thought I did. Because it was coming through and I lost the... I've got these 2 little ends. I guess what I could do, it looks like I might be able to just kind of go bink. Bink. There we go. Yeah, that looks just fine. Won't even be able to notice. There we go. Won't even be able to notice. Right? Adorable little arms. The first one looks a little better, but they both look great. They both look fantastic, and you wouldn't even be able to notice the other aspects that it doesn't quite look like it should unless you knew what you were looking for. Right? His little arms are so cute. Slowly but surely getting experience with the tech team at church. Got to do the ASL notes first service and one of the songs during second. If you have free time tomorrow, you might prep a little for practice and look up some backgrounds for the slides. I love it. Nothing out of the ordinary. You'll likely be spending the weekend studying. Oh, you're so welcome. You are so welcome, Soul. Well, your job assist person tried to call you, and your loyal phone decides that tonight is the night to betray you. Oh, no. Oh. Looking forward to our train trip when finals are over and done. And, of course, our next D&D session, though, frankly, I think it'll be hard to top the hilarity of the last one. I completely and 100% agree. Let's see if we can get him to stand a little. There we go. What do we got next? Because we've still got about half an hour.
Next up, the spikes. Grab your yellow yarn and make 5 of these. One thing I want to show you is that when you do the invisible fasten off, it's going to take your piece from looking like a circle into a cone, which is exactly what you want to happen. So don't worry that it bends like that. So notice how when I finish that invisible fasten off, all of a sudden my flat shape becomes like a little pita pocket. Also, if you haven't already, make sure that you flip your piece inside out so that the right side of the piece is facing out.
Okay, so we can probably get one of these done. We have what crocheters refer to as yarn vomit. We have yarn vomited all over my floor. One big thing of yarn. Okay, so I need to look up again how to do the magic loop because I do not remember. Ah. I should remember. Let's see what the next thing is.
Then attach the spikes to the middle of the dinosaur's back. You want to start with attaching the one that's at the tip of the tail and leave 1 to 2 rounds between each spike. You might need to actually give a little bit more space between these two where the tail goes into the body so that the spikes look a bit more evenly spaced.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the 3 that are, because I've got plenty of yarn to try and do another tail if I so desire. And it looks like I might want to based on the positioning of these spikes. So I'll do the 3 that are on the back, and then I'll redo the tail and do the 2 that are on the tail. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to look up Oh, you got it, Soul. You totally got it. Lord, right now I ask that you be with Soul and her health. I ask that you take away the funky feeling in her throat, and that she feels strong and healthy for finals week, and that she's able to pass all of them with flying colors, and also just feel healthy in general so that she can just enjoy what this time of year brings. And in your name I pray. Amen. You didn't realize that one moment from Disney's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was a joke on an actual thing? Oh my gosh! So we're gonna watch this make a center ring.
It's time to learn how to start a round crochet piece all by yourself. Round crochet pieces, like plushies or hats, often start with something called a magical loop. It's called magical because there's no hole in the center. That's why it's extremely popular for amigurumi plushies in particular, because it looks nice and neat. But since it's your first time crocheting, a magic loop can be pretty hard to do.
Hey, how's it going, Beaver Wolf?
So instead of doing this technique, I'm going to show you how to do this technique, which is called crocheting a ring into a chain. As you can see, there's a small hole in the middle, but the plus side is it's easier to do, so at least you'll have a circle to be able to crochet into. If you'd rather take on the challenge of learning how to make a magic loop, click on the help icon below. Otherwise, grab your green yarn and follow along.
So we're gonna do our yellow. So far, so good! We made little tiny arms for our amigurumi dino, and we're learning again and relearning how to do a center ring so that we can make the spikes.
You first need to make what's called a slip knot. To make a slip knot, lay out your yarn horizontally. Then pick up the yarn tail and loop that once around itself. So the yarn's intersecting at one point. Then pick up the other side of the loop and then fold that loop over the rest of the yarn.
Doing really well.
Like
it was a good weekend.
So now the rest of the yarn is somewhere. Now,
alright, so we made our...
Now you're going to make what's called a chain stitch. So get into regular crocheting position and hold on to the knot that you just made with your thumb and your middle finger. So your hook is in front of the working yarn like normal with the tip of the hook facing you. We're going to yarn over and then pull that yarn through the loop that's on your hook. So you have one loop left on your hook, and that is a chain stitch. Super easy. So let's pause because we want to mark this first chain stitch. So I'm going to pull my hook away from my piece to make that loop bigger so I don't lose my work. I'm going to rotate my piece a little bit so I can take a look and admire that horizontal V that I just made. That was the chain stitch. And I want to pick up the green stitch marker and use it to split that V. Like so.
There we go. Got it.
Now we're going to make a second chain stitch, so stick your hook back into this loop. Remember to put it in so that if you pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball, the piece of yarn that's moving is the one that's closer to you. Pull it just tight enough so that this loop on your hook is the size of the tip of your hook, and then wrap the yarn around your hand again like normal. This time you're going to hold on to the stitch you just made on that stitch marker with your thumb and your middle finger so that you have more control over everything, and do another chain stitch. So that again is a yarn over and then pulling that yarn through the loop that's on your... Okay, now we are ready to create a single crochet stitch. This is the first single crochet stitch of however many single crochet stitches the pattern says to put in the magic loop. So we want to put it in the first chain we made, which is the one that we marked with this green stitch marker. So pull the green stitch marker so it gets out of your way, and then stick your hook in the hole. So we're going to do a single crochet stitch like we have been. The only difference is that when you start, it looks like you've got 2 strands of yarn on the hook this time. So yarn over bring the yarn through the hole.
Hello, sweetie.
So you've got
Well,
2 loops
hello
on your
there,
hook.
crocheting
Yarn
dad.
over
Welcome
again, and pull
in.
through both loops
How did
on
you
the
find
hook.
the channel?
And you've completed the first single crochet stitch.
Good to see you. How are you tonight, and how did you find the channels? Tell me a little about yourself. Just hit crochet search. Love it, love it. We're making Fred Dino. So we do a lot of different things here. We play some video games. We've started doing some crochet now and then. And it's been a lot of fun. I've been learning how to crochet, and so I wanted to kind of do that with you guys. And take you guys along for the journey. How long have you been crocheting for? Okay, and this is 4 in our circle. $16 Nice. What is your favorite thing you've ever made?
And now to start the round after a magic circle, you're gonna...
Okay, so we've got our 4. So let's go back to the spikes.
Next up, the spikes.
And then single crochet into these for 2. Or single crochet increased stitch times 2. There we go. Single crochet increased stitch. So, hey, how's it going, West? Well, that explains it. So we got 1. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Oh, a teddy bear. What colors did you pick for the teddy bear? I think what we're going to do is I think I'm going to practice this a little bit off stream over the next week or so and figure out kind of where maybe would be a better place, like maybe remake the tail. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to remake the tail because I don't like the fact that it's upside down. And I also realized partway through that I neglected to turn the piece right side out when it started to fold. Oh, it was black and white. I love it. I love that so much. So we're gonna clean up all this yarn because it needs cleaned. Otherwise, my room is gonna be a mess. There we go. What are you up to, West? But yeah, we do a lot of different things here. We do some video games where I can't promise the video game, like, play-wise will always be good, because one of our things here is that I always find all the dumb ways to die in games. but I can promise you that it will be fun. That I can for sure promise you. So you know what we're going to do for the last, 15 minutes or so? We're going to go ahead. I'm going to put all of this away for now. Hiding that little bit of black yarn that was going to be used for eyes before we realized we can use our safety eyes. Because I've got plenty. I've got this much yarn. This much of the green yarn left, guys. Oh, there we go. I've got quite a bit of the green yarn left, which is one of my favorite things so far about the Woobles, is that not only do they teach you how to do it, they give you more than what you would ever need to do it. So if you mess up, you can still have enough to make another one. Because I am sure that that's going to be enough to make a new tail for our little dino. The question will be, what would be the best way to undo it? Because I've already sewn it on. But you know what? We're going to figure it out once we make our new little tail. We will figure that aspect of it out. Because I think he'll also balance better once he's got a new tail that isn't pointing up, but is rather pointing out. So here's a good question for all you fellow crocheters out there. What is a dream project for you? What is one project that you would absolutely just love to do? I think for me, one of my next goals is going to be making a scarf. I want to do that. I think that would be a good next step. I think that would be something that, now that I'm learning a bit how to work in the round and I'm learning, more and more what to do, I think that would be a very good, very, very good next crochet project. Let's take a look real quick at what is the belly going to require. Is it going to require any more green yarn?
Now for the finishing touch, embroidering the belly. Thread a tapestry needle with an arm's length of yellow yarn, and then stick the needle somewhere off to the side of the dino and bring it out one stitch to the left of the dinosaur's right arm, and pull that through until we've got about 6 inches left of the yarn tail.
Okay.
Then put the needle into the body, one stitch to the right of the left arm, and pull it out one round down and one hole a little bit to the left of that.
Okay, so this is all going to be...
Then put the needle a little bit to the right of the right edge of the previous line. So we're making a slightly wider line. And now we're going to start an even wider line. So bring the needle out one round down and again a little bit off to the right. And pull just tight enough so that you've got a nice line that's flat on the body. Keep on doing this pattern, but for the 4th and 5th stripe, you're actually going to bring the needle a little bit in because you want to make some narrower stripes. So the 4th stripe
we could do craft projects in general. That sounds
even
good.
Narrower than the 4th. To finish that last stripe, stick the needle in that last point and then bring it out of the same hole that the needle originally went into the body. So now both yarn tails are coming out of the same hole. And then you'll want to tie a knot with both yarn tails, thread the needle with both yarn tails to speed things up.
Okay.
And if it helps, you can also trim the longer of the yarn tails to make it a little easier to work with. And then you're just gonna hide the yarn tails inside the piece by sticking the needle in the same hole that the yarn tails are currently coming out of and pulling it out on some other side of the piece. And remember to cut the yarn tails as close as possible to the surface of the piece, and then massage it so the yarn tails disappear inside of the piece.
Makes sense to me. So we're not going to watch the all done yet, because we're not. In fact, we're nowhere near done yet. Give me just a second. There we go. I just realized I broke a nail. Okay, that'll work for now. That'll do for now. So yeah, what is a craft project or crochet, like crochet, craft in general, anything like that project that you have always wanted to do? Retrying the Pokeball. Nice! You found a nativity themed crochet kit for our mutual friend. Nice! My mom actually found a really, really cute Christmas tree pattern that I want to try at some point and see if I can do it, especially now that I've worked in the round a bit. But I want to get more comfortable working in the round before I do that, so I want to finish up my my Woobles projects before I even attempt that, so that way I kind of get that muscle memory going. Because that's a lot of what crochet is, I'm finding, is muscle memory. And figuring all that out has been quite helpful in my crochet journey. I think for me that Christmas tree is a great idea for something to try and have as kind of a goal for next year. 'Cause that would be kind of fun. That really, really would. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out a raid target for us. So, I'm thinking... Let's see, is he getting ready to end? He might be? I don't know. Because he's been going almost 2 hours. So he could be getting ready to go. But just in case, I'm not seeing any comments about it, but we're going to go ahead, we're going to end a few minutes early, you guys. We're going to go raid my friend, Tree Once Cut Down. He and his wife, Star Freckles, are absolutely amazing. They are such an encouragement. If you guys need anything, they are always there, just like I'm always there. Tree plays video games, he plays music. Let's get this raid set up. Where is he in this list? I'm watching. There he is. Alright, you guys. Let's start this raid. Oh, I'm definitely praying for you, Soul. Crocheting Dad, it was so, so nice to meet you, and I hope to see you around again sometime. If you are a sub, I mixed up the words, there we go. Sub raid, there is your raid command. If you are not, then here is your raid command. You guys, I will be back in a week, taking this Saturday off because of a trip, but I will see you guys on Tuesday when we are going to be working on these spikes and figuring out how to make that work. In the meantime, I will be remaking the tail and figuring out how to best replace the tail that I had made with this new one. So, you guys have a great night and a great week, and always remember, God loves you, and so do I. Bye, guys!
Ton of fun with it. And then if you like this, but you want to contribute to the stream, you want to make